So I want to thank you again, as everyone has already said. This is my journey to and through the College of Charleston's MPA program. So as the slide continues on, I grew up in Hartsville, South Carolina. Grew up low income, lived with my grandma and my mom. I attended Hartsville High School, but that's where I got my love for government work. After taking government economics, I was hooked. I've learned about how government works. I've learned about how economics work. It really just instilled in me the love for service. So I decided to go to Coker University in my hometown because I grew up low income and therefore we didn't have a car, so I stayed home. But I studied poli-sci there and started public service in student government at my institution. While there, I also was involved in all of these things. My first big boy job was as executive director of the Community Foundation for a Better Hartsville. Worked at AmeriCorps, hopefully it stays around. I was a Rotary member. I was a member of Enactus, I was a volunteer firefighter, and I was a redistricting research intern. But I could have graduated early. I was scared. I didn't know what to do until Ty Robinson posted on Facebook he was coming here. So I reached out to Dr. Millicent, former director of the MPA program, and she met with me after work hours, which was a big benefactor to me. So that summer, I went to visit Marla Robertson, and she told me about it, and I was still scared because growing up low income, you need money. So I applied to be a district executive with Boy Scouts. I applied to be a venture capitalist, and I applied to another school. But eventually, I chose to come here. I'm MPA's president. I got a scholarship from SCAMA. I was awarded an opportunity to go to ICMA thanks to Professor Bob O'Neill's donation. And currently, I'm a graduate assistant with the Riley Center. It's been great. So I want to talk you through classes. That's how I'm going to tell my story. So the foundations really stuck out to me just like it did with Haley, patriotism and benevolence. When I was executive director, taking care of my community really stuck out to me. Handing out checks, going to community events was really great. Leadership and decision making with Professor Bob O'Neill, I learned to lead through storytelling. I also learned about regional collaboration and how it builds trust through reading the book Bridge Builders. I recommend those books. Research methods. As this fella says, it was scary. I did not like it. I learned so much through Excel that I'm able to use in my graduate assistantship, and I believe beyond those once I graduate from here. Next, public-private partnerships. This really taught me how to articulate a public service perspective through creating a communication and stakeholder engagement plan, creating an MOU, and creating a project management plan for a potential opportunity. Managing financial resources to make evidence-informed decisions. I read through Fairbanks' budget because I didn't end up moving there because I didn't take a job, and I did Life After Hate's budget with the great Steve Bedard who retired last year. Managing human resources. This was great because I always wondered how a job description was created. And by taking it under Dr. Stewart, I learned that you have to first do an analysis before you create a job description, which is very beneficial for me. So over the summer, I took a break and did an internship in the city of East Creek, which really started my interest in planning and zoning. I worked under Alexis Kaiser, I worked under my mentor, Natalie Ziegler, and it was so great, I decided to take land use law in the fall, where I learned more about planning and zoning verbiage. I read a book called The Color of Law, which talks about how zoning was used to perpetuate racism back in the day and still some today. I took local government politics with Dr. Gordon. It was great learning more about regional collaboration. Those two girls, we interned with the city of Hartsville together while I was at Coker, and we call ourselves the OG interns. So it was very beneficial taking that class. Public policy, probably one of my favorite classes because I learned how to analyze policy by looking at historical context, as well as looking at the different theories like the PET theory, which we're seeing now with policies. We're seeing that volatile reaction to disruption of policies. This semester, I'm taking GIS, which has been challenging. I'm currently working on my final project, model building, but I learned so many things have GIS, from cell phones to computers to satellites, and that was a map that I had made. So future plans, I'm going to be a city planner for the city of Sumter, South Carolina, the first city to adopt a council manager form of government in the United States of America, between them and Virginia, but they argue about it. So I want to say thank you to everyone that I've met, everyone that's been a part of my story, and I want to leave you with this verse here. So faith by itself If it does not have works, it's dead. I believe faith alone will not get you anywhere. You have to put in the work. So thank you so much for coming tonight.